crazy, but you can see as the ball loses, or as physics, friction acts on the ball, it will gradually lose height. Remember, we're always subject to Newton's laws, although Newton's physics is only a kind of cousin to cartoon physics. We still need a nod to Isaac Newton in the classroom. So there we go, ball bouncing slightly less each time. And we can also continue with this to make the ball slowly bounce to a stop. The ball will bounce in the gap between the ball bouncing should be reduced slightly. So these positions here should actually be getting slightly less with each bounce, so that the amount of distance it's bouncing is slightly less as well. But I'm just going to leave that for now, and I'm going to suggest that we add a little bit of geometry to make this into a little bit of a set, so that we actually make the ball bounce down some steps as it goes. So actually what we want to do is, in order to do that, I need to, when it bounces the first time at 113, I want to raise that off the ground like that. So actually what we can do is just take this whole thing and move it up like this. So now we've got the whole ball bouncing down an imaginary set of steps. So if I go to 113, that's the side of the first bounce. And if I go and create a basic simple object, so let's go to polygon primitives. Make sure that interactive creation is turned off, by the way. It will make your life a lot easier. Let's create a cube. Now that cube will arrive at the origin, and if I move that up and then press the scale tool, which is this one over here, and then move these guys out like this. Pull on these little handles. We're getting into very basic modeling here. And I can create a step. Pull that down. There we go. So I've got a step, and what I can do is move that up. Now if you deselect it for some reason, let's say I've deselected it. If I click on it again, it's not going to allow me to select it. And that's because we've got select surface objects turned off. So if I want to select it, I need to turn that on again. And that's because this is geometry, this is an object. So we do need select surface objects to be turned on at this point. So now the ball is going bounce, and then it's going to bounce again, and it's going to bounce here at this frame, 137. So instead of making the step again, let's actually name this. Let's call it step 1, like that, in the channel box. Let's go ahead and duplicate it. Control D to duplicate. And now all I have to do is move that down. And you see Maya has automatically named it step 2, which is very, very handy because that's exactly what we want. And let's just go back to the beginning and press play. See what we've got. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So the next bounce was at 161. So let's go ahead